The season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in. How is everybody doing? Yeah, man, big up yourself. It's another weekend. It's another weekend super treat. All the persons who have been asking, what's up with the weekend super treat? Here we are. We're back. Yeah, people, but big up yourself, man. Thank you very much. We're happy to be here again, another weekend super treat. Of course, you know that the World Championship took place, and it was the same thing last summer. So, of course, another World Championship, another track and field month of event. You don't know it going on. But football fans, we're still here. We're still here. We were here in the World Cup for the ladies, giving reviews and all of that. Yeah, giving updates. Formula, what go on? Big up yourself, Formula. Big up yourself, Lolo. Big up yourself, man. Formula, me still have to back some work, man. Big up yourself, Formula. Yeah, man, a long time we have to level push out now. You don't know. But we know sometimes how the YouTube thing going on. Mindset of the day and the time too. You understand? But we're grateful another weekend. We're alive. Yeah. So man say me a cheat for football and track and field. Yeah, man, a two girl me have, man. Two girls. Track and field and football. Yeah. So you know, say sometimes we wanna go be on the back burner. So the thing said, you understand? But it is what it is. You understand? But we give thanks that we can still be back here and give you some update on what is taking place. So we're supposed to be having Kyle Chin, Reggae Boyz video analyst, joining us. Michael Hector, we hear about him being in the squad, but apparently never met the squad because the squad dropped today and no Hector. Casey Palmer is in the squad. Ronaldo Cephas, unseen. Where is unseen? No unseen love what going on, yeah, man, we're going to talk about the stadium field too with the Chris Brown. You understand? The Chris Brown thing, mash up the field, and we have games coming up. I wonder how that I will get ready. But they probably make a big hefty food so them can buy back some grass and get the labor up and running so that they can, sort it out quicker and fast. So I hope that is the case. I hope that is the case. All right, I hope that is the case. So we're looking forward to see Kyle Chin joining us. All right. So yeah, the big thing is that people. Let me pull up. let me pull up the squad, because that are the big talk of the day, people. The Reggae Boyz squad. Goalkeepers. Nothing has changed with the goalkeepers. Jamal Away, Kanaya Boyce Clark, Andre Blake, and then you have defenders Damian Lowe, Tavon Gray is a youth from New York. He plays football in New York. Let's see what sort of player he is. Ethan Pinnock, Rupert should be back. Amari Bell, Deshaun Bernard, Dexter Lembikisa, Adrian Mariappa, and the return of Greg Lee. So, what do you think about that? What do you think about this team, people? Right? Midfielder Casey Palmer. Hey, this Casey Palmer baller, it has been a long time coming. Right? Casey Palmer, it has been a long time coming. Finally, Casey Palmer. Finally. Joel Latibodier will be returning. Daniel Johnson, aka DJ. Kevin Lambert. Mangana MLS now, you know. Big up to Lambert. And then you have Bobby Reed starting out the Premier League, doing well already. All right, then you have forward Leon, Bala Bailey, Michael Antonio, Demarai Gray, who should be on the move, Dujan Richards, Corey Burke, Shamar Nicholson. Big move he made as well. He's on a loan move to the League One. Not such a hot club in my world, but nevertheless. And the newbie, Ronaldo Cephas made the team, people. And it is a thing where this ball has been, you know, a lot of people have been calling for him for a longer time. And he has finally made the cut. Or according to the coach, Meran Gordon, the assistant coach, or one of the assistant coach, told him about Cephas, and it seems to be a good look. You know what I mean? Seem to be a good look for Cephas. He has been doing well. He changed club, and the baller, big up the baller, out and running, up and running in the squad. What do you think about this squad? I think it's a good squad for the Nation League. 80 Honduras coming up. Is it a cakewalk for the Reggae Boyz? Strong team. The Reggae Boyz name still enough. That goes to show that Al Grimson not playing. The man talk about, what you call that thing? The ranking. He has an aim with the ranking. Now we're not talking Shabba. You understand? So that is the thing with the squad. That is the thing with Al Grimson picking a strong team. Players seems as if they are committed to the cause, because a long time you don't see a Nation League game like this or a team like this in such a busy period and we get the strong team. You understand? So it is a good look. Cataract Wagwan! Chano Star. Cataract. What's up? So we're waiting on Kyle to show up. All right, so yeah, man, that is the thing. Want to think about the squad? Drop his squad. Want to think about the squad in the comment section, no man. Yeah, I want to make it look so. Anyways, let me check out some of the comments in the comment section. I think it's a very decent squad. And the coach has attributed Casey Palmer to the likes of Ravel Morrison. He said that similar type of player. Is this an indication? Let me not go there. Formula, big up yourself again. Lolo in the building. Big up yourself, Lolo. BM in the building. What a way they mash up the stadium field. Interesting. Lulu's a solid defense. All right. Jason, big up yourself. Jason G, respect you. Based on what I saw, I'm not sure if the field will be ready in time. But let's see. Lulu, big respect, you know. Squad attack life according to Lulu. Actually, what go on? Big up yourself. Cataract in the building. Manners and respect. You know, Ultra's time. Squad drop. Cataract, what do you think about the squad? Toughy Rudy, big up yourself, you know. Solid team. Question will be will there be last minute withdrawal from the players? Yeah, that is always the thing with these squads, you know. Because we see a thing with Michael Hector being selected for Jamaica for national duty. But when this squad drop, we don't see no Michael Hector. Will he be in place of Trayvon Gray? And if Demarai and Trayvon related. And if Demarai tell him, say, yo, forward charge it. All right. Greg Onigan said, I wish Ravel Morrison was a part of the squad. He is our most technical gifted player ever. Yeah, there's not too much complaints about that comment, Greg. He kept what he had and had couple upgrades. Yep. So who are the upgrades, do you believe? Who are the upgrades? So who Casey Palmer replaced? And who Ronaldo Cephas? So Casey Palmer would, I say Ronaldo Cephas would have probably replaced Skyim Paris. You think? So I think Ronaldo Cephas would have replaced Skyim Paris. Who Casey Palmer replaced? Who else did in the midfield? I don't remember. Who else did in the midfield? Somebody remind me. And Trayvon Gray, who he came in for? Chris Brown and no good pitch for the boys. 7.5 decent squad. Will everyone turn up? I hope so. Looking for 2 wins. Only 1 or 2 questions could reasonably be asked. What are those questions, Catara? What are those questions? One of them can get the phone line up and running until Kyle forward. See if we can get the phone line up and running. Yeah, man, the phone line. Let me check out what I go on with the phone line. So you can call in until Kyle forward. All right. So Cataract, more you share them questions there where you'd have think you'd have asked of this squad. I like to see Greg Lee back in the team over Taxi. Yeah, Greg Lee. So see, Greg Lee is back. Lulu. Greg Lee is there and no Taxi. So Greg Lee. So I mean, police probably stopped the Taxi to a front. They don't go on too bad. Run trips to a front. So police finally catch up on that Taxi. You get me? So taxi out of service right now. Base. Oh boy. Big up yourself, Rob Smith. And if you're on the right stream, Rob Smith. Oh, go on. I'm not looking forward to see the game on that pitch. Interesting. Palmer is an upgrade over Jonathan Russell. Oh, Russell is the man that they do away with. Bro, man, security, big up. John Russell in replace, yeah. Isn't Corey Burke injured? MLS man, them talk to it. No, I've not seen anything read that, you know. Oh, Javian out. Oh, wow. Coach now play now. Cephas is the new Paris, yeah. The minute he makes a bad play, they attack him. That me have seen about Unseen is here to defend them, you know. Unseen is here. You don't have to worry about that. Unseen I got defend the boss. Yeah, man, the taxi are run triple to a front, man. That's why they call back for Uber. If field already can, they just switch to catching all. Catching all no better, King Jav. Catching all no better, you know. Hey, those. No, hey, Reggae Boy coming to. What you talk about COVID sneeze, man? We have to stay away from the youth, man. Knock on board. We never catch something there. Police stop Gregory a long time. Man get no game for about 2 years. No, man. Greg Gregory is what you call it now? Gregory a Uber, you know. Gregory a the Uber. So a taxi, you know. But people, we have 2 tickets to give away, you know, for the games, you know. And we have a shorter question. And more of the people them. I am not going to put the question in the comment section because people you know so them can't go do them research. So I'm going to read the question and then you answer in the comment section. The first correct answer, you will be getting a ticket to Reggae Boyz game. You understand? But seriously, I believe this is a very decent squad. In essence, the coach is trying to basically keep some sort of semblance of togetherness, of camaraderie in keeping players who would are considered to be the core players. And in all the areas you have in the goalkeeping department, in the defensive department, he's trying to keep that unit together. Midfield, only probably 2 changes or 1 change. Up front, similar. So it is not any wholesale change that you're going to be seeing or we have seen from this coach to date. And that is a good look because you might have 2 additions here and there, but you don't want to have to be changing 7 people, 8 people. Even 5 is too much, if you ask me. So I think this coach is kind of, putting it together so that he have some sort of consistency. The players, get to know his style of play, keep up his style of play. You know what I mean? So that they'd be able to learn the things that he tries to impart so that the football can look attractive. We can stop goals from scoring and we can score goals ourselves. He did say that in the press conference that he wants to, put some impetus in the attacking third. Uh, we want to see more goals being scored. The defense is not bad except for the last game in the Gold Cup, according to the assistant coach. So things are looking up. I like to see when a team is picked from one tournament to the next and you don't have a lot of changes. And those persons who lost their place, I don't know the reasons, but one of the reasons could be that they did not perform up to par according to the rubric that the coaching staff possibly would have had. They wouldn't be up to par, and these players that are coming in, let's see how it goes. I don't see any any solid changes coming in the near future. I would like to see though a solid defensive midfielder. I honestly would want to see that. If the coach doesn't use that type of player, then that is how we are going to have to judge him by, and not because there is no defensive midfielder. You get what I'm saying? So that is the thing with this coach. Remember the man them use to ball for Paris. Yeah, man. I saw Rob Smith. We know the Jamaican fan base. The Jamaican fan base will call for you. When they call for you, it is because you're in form, right? Now, when you come to the team and you're not performing or you underperform, then certainly they they will want for you to be replaced. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Um, that's how it goes with these people. So, word reaching from information reaching us from Kyle is that he will be on another 40 minutes or so. So, put on your seatbelt. The squad just dropped, so a lot of things have been taking place. So, bear with us, people. Bear with us. Kyle will be on. You get what I'm saying? He will be on. So I just have to reiterate that point so that person don't believe that, we put up something we're not really gossip. Understand? Big up to the people in New York. Yeah, man, big up the New York massive that are taking in the show. Big up yourself. Big up the North American people, yeah. Especially the people up in Canada as well. Big up yourself. What Formula is saying? Formula is saying, no man, not try deceive us, We will wait. Formula? People, Rob Smith, I want to see what Formula write in that comment section. I want to see that. Formula, you don't know the thing going on. Jamaican people will bring you in, like a Wrigley's, buy a nice pack of Wrigley's, And then what they'll do, pull you out that wrapper, put in the mouth, chew. Once you not do what them want for happening, they spit you out. So, I saw your fans there. All right, Oyini said that what the story with Karai Anderson started 5 games for Charlton and has passport. What is the real story about Omar Hutchinson missing? Not sure, Cataract. But as we said, the Omar Hutchinson, a lot of theories behind that, but we now follow them theory. I think the youth, as the coach indicated, is dealing with some stuff, probably some personal stuff, and hence the reason why he wasn't selected this time around. Burke is dealing with a hip injury. It's not clear when he picked the issue up, but it's a concern for New York Red Bulls as a whole. Really? So, oh, Corberg. So that means we're going to be having changes in this squad. Gregory is not a regular at this club. He's a robot. He's a robot taxi. People think him real, but he's not. Mm-mm. Big up yourself, Fresh God. Capo in the building. Big up Capo. Other reasonable question is why Kemar Roof not called. He has 1 goal in 2 games, but those would have been my questions, and I would live with his answers. Okay. Kemar Roof. But the youth you mentioned, Qatar, I don't know. The first question, I don't know. But probably they're not looking that direction. So if Corberg is injured, then Cataract's question about Roof is a valid question. You understand? It's a very valid question and pertinent one. So I don't know. You understand? Don't know. Well, go on RR, big up yourself. Rob Smith Gregory is at a new club and has played since start of the season. Would have loved if Mikel had scored today and fought a yard on a winning streak. Kyle is an Arsenal fan. Sure, no. So it's the Simon. That's why I'm coming late. Anyways, so now I get to that politics there. Yeah, man, we have to big up. Hey, big improvement. Simon, the team at the JFF for the press conference today. Come on, man. When we clap them, man, we have to clap them when them do well enough, people. Yes, man. We have to clap them when them do well. You understand? And Simon did an excellent job in cheering the program or being host or moderator. So many names you could give that. But excellent job. I think it was a well-run press conference. You understand? And yeah, we look forward to see more of those things, Simon. We look forward to see, the professionalism of that arm that you are a part of to continue to live. Because we spoke about that in recent past. And to see it matriculating or happening, it is a good look. Yeah. We just want the other little aspect of the JFF to be sorted out. The hey people. Boy, may I tell you. So much money the JFF for. So in a sense, the JFF really don't have the money, The JFF really don't have the money, people. None. Yeah, none. Sorry for them. But guess what? I can't help them. You understand? Check out some more comment. Coach, it's a good move to bring in Kevin Gray. Very young player. Let's cap before you say he was their U70 World Cup captain. Yeah, that is good. Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans back to United. Jesus, please. Hey, I'm going to stop support United. I'm going to take sabbatical for United. If I them something that go on. Johnny Evans. It's a Formula Sports turn vlogger again. Formula Jump or the something them. Or the coach answered, thank you. First God, I don't follow the ballers, so I listen to One Nation narratives. Coach said at the presser, if Corey is not 100%, then Demario Phillips will come in. Okay. Gregory has been transferred to Oxford. Yeah. Man, stop it. No 20-year-old player gets called to a country he wants to play for and asked not to be selected. Nowhere in international football. Reggae Boyz community. It is that likes. So, ready for your question, people? Ready for if you need a ticket to go to the game, the games that are coming up, put thumbs up in the comment section because we don't want to ask a question and people don't want a ticket to know. Duckland, want to go on? Big up yourself. Why couldn't we hear the question and know the name and media host asking? Oh, that's important, Cataract. Might be, but I don't know if it's a big deal. Sometimes in press conference, you hear the media house's name. Sometimes. Man, them act like them alone have internet. I hear TVJ and the mic system mess up the thing. Really? Because they have to keep on moving the mic. Wow. If coaching is asking, Shakir is the answer. Rob Smith, it seems like you're having a problem because he's a. No, another question I have the problem with the media host. Cataract have the problem with. So Simon, probably what can be done next time, Big up yourself, Jerry, anyway, that breaking news boss. What can be done, they probably need a cordless mic in a setting like that. Where they just send around so that the persons who are asking the questions they can be heard. So that is a suggestion that can be used going forward. Spengdan, big up. So I'll go on for Hutchinson. What's the excuse this time around? We don't hear nothing. Probably the coach did not select him. Yeah, yeah. So we need a cardless mic the next time around. Or if you don't have a cardless mic, get one of the long card mic and line up the thing so the thing can set up. Oh, so a thief. Well, I'm not call nobody name around here. Midnight Cowboy, big up yourself. Big up yourself. Big up yourself. Drew Fortis, big up yourself. People like the video, man. We have 47 people on. We should have 47 likes. We should have 47 likes. We should have 47 likes. Yeah? Yeah, man. So, I think I like the squad. I definitely like the squad. I like the new thrust going forward, the new idea. Yeah. Really like what the coach is doing. Yeah, man. It's a listen. At the first, you're cataract him now, man. And you know, say the youth coming out. You see the last game of the youth play against Trinidad. Well, he was bashed, you know. And now no still a call for him. Boy, I mean, I tell you. To be honest, I don't even realize Hutchinson wasn't listed until he was brought up in a group. So the squad good. Yeah, that are the thing, you know. Everybody cannot be picked on the squad. Now listen. When you see Cataract don't have a lot of questions, and Cataract now call for Anthony Grant, you must know. So it's not a bad squad. Yeah? You understand? Definitely. So once there's not a lot of uproar about the squad, it seems as if the people, the fans, they like the squad. It wasn't an excuse for Omari, you know, people. Stop trying to put something on the wheel that is not nothing, no man. Apparently the coach did not pick him. No, Kevin. But Cataract not asking this time around. So you must know. Say the squad not too bad enough. Yeah, man, I think a decent squad. I think it is a decent squad. Nah lie. You get what I say? And how it seems like we're not gonna be getting everybody at one time. You understand? So if big up yourself, Jairus, Coach Porter, big up yourself. You understand? So big kudos to the selection, the technical team for doing what they did in terms of selection. But what I'm saying still, you know, what I'm saying still, you know, most times all the Reggae Boy squads that we hear, and we hear the squad go out. Normally, because even the squad that we were rating on for Gold Cup, you know, Ethan Rupert Pinnock was named, and we know see Rupert. Seeing? So this time around the squad is picked. We're hoping and see we hear something about Corey Burt there. So it might be a case where Corey Burt might not even be there. We hear say Hector get picked, and we know say Reggae Boy commentary. What really happened with Hector? Was that a rumor? And I'm gonna be asking again. Anybody need a ticket to go or tickets to go to the Reggae Boys game? We have some ticket. We have some tickets for your people. We have a question But you have to indicate if you want the ticket. Now. If you don't want the ticket, then it make no sense to ask the question. Probably go put it out on IG and see if somebody there might be able to, take that ticket. So tell me if you're interested in the ticket. Again, big up to the people on Facebook. Big up the Facebook massive. The coach said Corberg arriving tomorrow. They can assess his fitness. Hector plays cricket. Hector, the first player picked and dropped before the press conference. Or was it such a bald man acting like them know it all? What cataract mean by ouch bald man? Cataract. Who you show a word man? Conroy Sterling, big up yourself. Yeah, man, you see the people take time to trickle in. Now, people, those who have just arrived, Kyle Chin will be on shortly. He's sorting out some stuff, and he will be with us shortly. Yeah? I don't know how which bald man cataract. You know when you come make cause no can Devon Porter head ball, you know. Wee. Better option than maps. I have a problem with them always picking injured overseas based players, knowing full well that they won't be available so they can push in a JPL player. Oh, you think he's a ploy that Kevin Williams? But the coach like them Mario Phillips still, you know. So even if that is the case, so Burke is still on. So basically we have Boza, Burke, Anthony, and potentially Cephas as centre forward. While we have DJ alone as number 8. That makes sense. Remember, Latibody here can play 8 too, you know. Lolo, Casey Palmer, CDM. Now, who is drinking whites? Yeah, I don't know Casey Palmer has not seen him. I think Casey Palmer is the next number 8. I think Casey Palmer is the next number 8, Lolo. And not so much a number 6. Hector mix up the call up. A West Indies, the email said, and he thought it was JFF. Yo, no savage for Hector, man. Yeah, because Grimmy wants to call up J players. Really? I don't think so still. I think Grimson like Demario Phillips. And if he has a Corberg, I guess he's gonna pick a Corberg over Phillips. You understand? That way, big up yourself. Lolo, if you said Grant don't run away, you are go Sebo Casey. He's an out and out camp. Cataract Ed is also bald. He might be referring to himself. Yeah! Cataract the bald head to man. Cataract, how you going with? Man, Cataract a true word for himself, Coach Devon. They did it with Leon when he was injured and Lay as well when he was injured. Casey should be our number 10. Casey ain't box to box either. We don't know for sure if Grimmy has full control over the selection process. I still think such man in the background pulling the strings. But me not know still because here Grimmy said today that him have to big up um coach everything run out of my head a while ago. Coach Gordon for telling him about CFAS. So I guess he gave him update about CFAS. He has always been telling him about CFAS, and I think this is an opportune time for CFAS to forward and him say, yeah, you understand? Coach, I'm going on record as the only man calling for Phillips to be in the squad. Even if I'm the only one, I will still say it. Yep. Jerome, big up yourself, you know. I don't think so. I think Grimmy calling his team. Me I lean towards that, you know. Cause some man never need to get called this time if the coach wants the new players. But who tell you that the coach wants to see new players, J. Ross? That's the thing in a BM. We, the coach never say him want to see new players. It's a tournament, you know. The coach is thinking about the ranking as well, you know. So the only three new players him calling, one in the defense, one in the midfield, one up front. So you see the coach now, nah, he's not in a lot of rotation of players, this and that, and trial and error look like. If he's gonna give players introduction to the team, it must be a one man in each of the third them of the field. And that seems as if that is what he's doing. We have enough striker. We need another midfielder. Demar Phillips is a good choice. Him nobody. Him nobody no. But he has to be consistent on the field to me. Philip run up and down headless like Burr. So you might have a point, coach. From when my head no ball. Cataract, we don't know. When you come on the stream, them you turn off a camera right now. But last time we check, a ball they have. Last time we check, a ball they have, Bridget. Oh, Hector. Oh, yeah, man. Hector say, look like a cricket me play. I did set up the true when the squad did call up. Remember, Hector was placed in the pool too, you know. So, I guess Cataract carry feelings that way. John was there. I think, yeah, in terms of CFAS, he deserves his call up for true. The boss a turn leather. Oh, you never see the press conference? Okay. Him say it in the press conference? Yeah, but even if him say I'm going to see new players, how many him going to see? Remember, it's a tournament, and the coach basically spoke about wanting to maintain a certain ranking, you know. Not new, different players. Yeah. Because we know say I can't new. We look really top heavy and light in midfield. I heard my cricket say only the minority thinks the JFF is doing a bad job. Man, them turn off the comments on Instagram and trick themselves. Well, him can't do worse or something that's still enough. Raymond and this now soon get back to that story, you know, because you say you're not a leader. So we soon touch back that story there. The man said, I am not a leader. I am a team player. So why on earth you want to run for the presidency of the Jamaica Football Federation? Eh? I soon get back to that story there. A track and field savior, you know. Track and field savior. Mm-hmm. I also want to ask JFF officials in the building, what is the status of EPL players getting their passport? We heard of players from before Gold Cup and we reach a September and we not hear nothing. Which player that cataract? Jerome, you see it too? Some man did try me feel crazy. Question it. We have strikers, we don't have goal scorers. Devon, where we gonna fit Phillips in this midfield on the screen? Yeah, see if us earn him spot. Jairus, but it clear as day. Anybody no see that must lock them yeah. Coach, in my humble opinion, we don't need to bring Whisper, Bowser, and Burke at the same time. Especially when we just call Cephas. We should focus on shoring up the midfield. Mm, that is valid. But how valid is that to the coach? Remember, I say every coach have their different philosophy what they want, you know. So we might see the midfield not shore up, but again, who we are gonna bring in at the midfield? Because we don't really see the midfield players out there, no Jairus. Seriously, tell me three midfielder Jairus who could have add to the midfield here. You mentioned three players: Whisper, Bowser, and Burke. Tell me three midfielders who could have dropped in instead of them. Seriously. And if we do that in a Jairus and don't carry three strikers, so we drop out. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 up front. 2 can start. See? We're gonna say oh coach carry only 4 striker, you know. I want to pack up the midfield, you know. So tell me those 3 players that we could have used instead of them, Jairus. Kevin Stewart is finished with professional football at the moment. He has not recovered from injury. Blackpool brought in Tashawn Oakley Booth, a player who is eligible for Jamaica. Cataract, tell me who are the English players, them EPL players that would they hear about and we not hear about? Passport. Yeah man, them are Grace gonna be going to visit the different parishes. A matter of fact, Clarendon where he comes from. So because that's where his people are from, you know. So yeah, boss I got roll in a Clarendon. You know that is a good look. Them thing at the JFF had a long time. Get the ballers them in the community so the people them can be in tune with it. And when them come out, them can say, yo, they meet them alright, great. You see me I say? The JFF them slowly I use the ideas them we have for years still no cataract. Slowly and surely them are use them, you know. And it is a good look. We don't know. Tyreek Mitchell, Kyle Walker Peters. Kyle Walker Peters, he lost. Anyways, let me stop talking about the Kyle Walker Peters. You can't talk about Tyreek Mitchell. Kyle Walker Peters did never. Hey, unless him have a change of heart, you know, or change of mind, you know. Because nothing now go on the England side, you know. Yeah, man, that is a good look. Reese Nelson, Tyreek Mitchell, Dwight McNeil. Okay. But we hear about Reese Nelson, you know. Seeing cataract. Tyreek Mitchell and Dwight McNeil, but were they pursued? That is the next question, you know. Yeah, but Jairus, a 23-man squad, you know. And if you have shore up midfield, you have to drop somebody and you say you don't have to carry them people there, you know. So all right, take out two of them or one of them. May I put it to the least. Take out two or one and name a midfielder that you would use. Since I know all of them I talk. Drop one and call John Russell as a 8. But obviously them never like how John Russell, that's why them not call John Russell. So that is one. Dwight McNeil injured. We never did as a job 3. I was just saying all 3 are not necessary in this window. All right, Jairus, you mentioned John Russell, but based on carrying John Russell and only give him one game, him score a good goal, and then not play him again. Obviously, something about John Russell not right. How would the coach him not like? So dip again, Jairus. Dip again. Dip in the hat again. Jaden Anthony is back in the championship at Leeds United. So how was he thinking he was in line for England call up? Hey, Qatar, we don't want to hear nothing more Leeds, you know. Leeds are championship. When we depend on a country who don't produce midfielders, this is what happened. Should have stuck with the Spanish. We would have midfielders for days. Big up Ayat. Night to you, coach. Big up Ayat. Rob Smith, our only midfielders being produced. Yeah, Jairus, but I refuted the Jonathan Russell thing, you know. So that's why I said dip again. Which Anderson youth? No look like Ravel get no club. Jonathan Russell slow. Remember me telling you, you know. Jonathan Russell is slow. So probably that's one of the reasons he doesn't bring any impetus in the middle of the park. Formula, I know you like them argument there, though. It's a real talk for YouTube. So every other talk are fake. Artificial talk. Colin Anderson. Colin Anderson is not a midfielder. So I can't him Kevin. Colin Anderson is more of a forward striker, you know. Jonathan Russell lack pace. Jonathan Russell is slow. I mean, think that's a reason why they drop him. Look like Ravel have to go play some JPL to get back in the squad. Rob Smith, the talk, a big talk, I swear. Kerry Anderson, Charlton Athletic. He's a starter while Hector has been a substitute. Was this player selected before? Yeah, I think so. Or no? Remember. Another option, drop maps and call Hector for double duty if needed. See, Qatar call you named. Okay, okay. Ravel would have been the ideal candidate. Yeah, Ravel are the real baller. But Jairus, the Hector situation, remember, we complain about playing ballers out of position. And if what position would we carry in Hector to play? Midfield or defense? And if he comes in other defense, would he be able to break into the starting 11? John Russell, like Anthony Grant, like any CDM developed by Chelsea system, plays the role slow. They are drilled to calm down the game and slow it down. Wow. Ravel and Dylan Barnes need to give up. Need to give Mount Pleasant Academy a call. Me hear say Barnes played Church League. Man, I keep the collection players safe. Kerai has been overlooked even though he has a passport before the Fuzzy U20. All right, people. Kyle is supposed to be joining us now. Yeah, man. Kyle is supposed to be joining us now. So let's get ready. People, share the live now, people. And like up the live now, man. Like up the live. Like up the live, my people. Who we are better than Hector right now as a 6-footer? Okay. But Jairus, me get what you're saying now, but look at it. Joel did play one different position and the people them are beat. I say, oh, we bring in a man where play in entire career as a across the back line. And you carry him play midfield. You understand? And I see him think then say Hector no get a reasonable chance because because everybody carry him, play him out of position. Big thing this by Demarai Gray, and ideally he's going back to Clarendon and he's going also to the school of one of the coaches. Obviously me think that the staff not too into Russell. As a cataract saying drill we slow down the game. You understand? So that might be the case. An update as well, Reggae Girl former captain, Kanya Plummer. She signed with Club Tigers UANL. Big up to Cornell after coming back from Charlesburg. Bigger, bigger. All right, we have Kyle in the building. Kyle, what's up?
How you doing?
Yeah, man, I'm good.
Sorry for
Welcome
my
to the coach's
tardiness. I
desk.
finally made it.
Yeah, man, yeah, man. We know so the squad just drop and you have things to do, so
Mm.
we understand. And the people are here. They have been patient. We're talking about some other stuff, the squad itself as well. Um, Before we get into it, just tell us a little bit about you. Introduce yourself to the coaches desk audience.
No, for sure. So yeah, as you said, I'm Kyle Chin. I'm happy to be the Reggae Boyz first team video analyst, and I've been with the team since about 2021 or late 2021, helping the previous staff with data, and then from there, I think I really became ingrained with the staff, and people thought I brought good insights. So I've been with the team ever since then, and kind of have been able to move up the ranks a little bit from intern to full time analyst.
Oh, that sounds good. That sounds good. And tell us a little bit about your background, Kyle. Um, Probably where you grew up and stuff like that, with school you attend and so forth, so we can have an understanding. These people like to align themselves to school and all these things. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So while I wasn't born in Jamaica, both my parents are born and raised in Jamaica, but I grew up in New York, right outside Jamaica, Queens. So I went to high school in Long Island, but when I went to college, that's when I really found my passion for sports analytics and kind of knew this was the path I was going to be on. Growing up, I've always loved soccer. I hope no one on here goes and looks for highlights of me playing because they don't exist because I was horrible. I have two left feet, can't kick a ball further than 15 yards, but I've always had an understanding for the game, and it's a game for me that had always so many layers, and I was always so fascinated about the small intricacies that are just involved. So from there, I went to Temple University where I studied sports management, really got into the data side and teaching myself how to work in programming. And from there, it was really just trying to get my foot in the door. So in college, I did a whole bunch of internships and kind of volunteer opportunities. I used to work for the Houston Dash on the NWSL side, doing kind of player analytics and creating player profiles. Before that, I was with a company that was Perform Stats, and that's kind of a betting company. But essentially, I'd go into soccer games and live code some events and moments for players to or people to go bet on during the game. And then from there, I kept just reaching out for opportunities. So I was always trying to do something with the Philadelphia Union because that's close to Temple University.
right, right.
And I was lucky enough to know someone that knew the team manager for Jamaica at the moment. I called him several times until I finally got him on the phone and said, "Can I share a quick 5 minute presentation with you about the data and kind of what I think we can, or what Jamaica could do to perform better in World Cup qualifiers?" And then from there, that's the conversation that got it all started, and that's a
So,
moment I'll never forget.
so you are a big fan of the Reggae Boys, and you were basically doing your own statistical write up of the Reggae Boys, even before you came around the team.
Of course, of course. I mean, like, those are the people who inspire you. Like, looking up to the staff that was there before. I mean, it was, to be honest, it was like a dream being able to speak with them, let alone get the chance to work with them. But I think kind of in my early part of my career, just having the inspiration to go out and do little projects on my own, I think that's truly got me noticed.
Okay, awesome. In terms of what really sparked that interest though in football analytics, you mentioned that you had two left feet and all of that, and you can't kick a ball to save your life. But is it how did that interest in analytics, was it because of the liking of computer? Was it mathematics, or give us an insight? What sparked the interest, though?
No, I mean, growing up, I was always good at mathematics and just playing around the computer, always, helping my parents or even like uncles and aunts like figure stuff out on computers. So I knew I was going to always end up somewhere in the data world specifically, kind of doing something in technology. And then from there, like, again, I've always loved the sport of soccer. I was never good enough to be in it for a long time. So for me personally, it was just doing some soul searching, finding another way that I could still be involved in the game I love.
What was that presentation like? What did you gather, and what and what did you bring to the presentation that you think basically sold the JFF that you needed to be a part of this team?
So I actually went back to go look for that presentation to see if I could bring it today, but it was on my old monitor, so I
Yeah,
wasn't able to find it. But essentially, it was a heat map of all of Ravel's touches, kind of the space he likes to play and stuff like that.
that's who, Ravel.
Yeah, Ravel Morrison,
Okay,
way back when, and he's just a player that I've always kind of loved and just loved watching him play. So I kind of showed him. I showed the team manager the pockets that he actually had the highest passing percentages and where those spots were on the field. And then from there, I recommended that if we could play him more centrally instead of as an 8, but more as a 10, that he'd be more effective. And then from there, you saw later down the line when we went to a 4-2-3-1 at times, he was playing a lot more centrally, and I think that's the best we ought to see out of him.
so hey, the people are not gonna rate it for that, Kyle, because a lot of people on these platforms have been saying Ravel Morrison should be that number 10 for Jamaica. And for to hear you saying that now, it just solidify what a lot of us have been saying about Ravel. He should be playing more advanced. And Ravel loves the football. He loves to make those final passes. And when he's dropped deep, it doesn't help the team. And it was good to see that you were able to bring this to the fore. I guess they have to listen to the professionals like you, and not the
I definitely
YouTuber.
can't take full credit for the decision. I mean, I think that really came down to Paul, but I definitely tried to put as much of my 2 cents in as I could.
Okay, good. But at least that made an advance in terms of changing up his role. But in terms of the players now that you'd have worked with or before, what are some of the experiences that you'd have had with these players?
No, I mean, I think it's incredible, regardless who's been in the squad or not. Just for me to be honest, like I'm still a very young person in this field, so the more I get to spend time around those players, like it's just the more you get to learn. Especially sometimes I think as I've been there longer, I've been more privy to kind of those conversations with players. But when we do film sessions and we kind of sit there and review, I think the conversations that really spark with each other, just like trying to get deeper within the tactical formation, understanding the nuances behind our principles and stuff like that. The players really care about that. They're very interested and they're very willing to learn and commit to learning about it. So I think just being able to learn from them and kind of how they think the game, like someone that I love talking to, like again, I think Damien's really smart in the way he sees the game. Like being able to sit down with him sometimes and just talk to him about the game is awesome. Mikhail is another person that's really knowledgeable of the game, and kind of when we sit with him and do film, like I begin to learn new things about the game that I might not have known previously. So
Okay.
those are truly my favorite parts of being around some of these players, just because there's so much to learn and so much to soak up.
So in a sense, they really help you to do your job as well, or make it a little bit easier, because
Yeah.
with
Oh
their
no. I mean, 100%. Just because they've been professionals for so
right.
long and they've experienced such a high level of soccer. I mean, I think I have a really good understanding of the tactical system and formation, but it's kind of the individual moments that they give me new insight to. kind of what their approach would be in certain moments.
All right. So, is it a case where you do like team heat map, or individually you might go to a player and say, you need to do this or go in this pocket some more or this channel if you want to improve your game and so forth. Is it a case where you share these one-on-one with the player, or is it a team setting that you look at it?
I think it kind of depends, to be honest. I think if it's more individual, I'm able to package the information together for coaches, and I kind of let them handle that side, the one-on-one player side. But I think especially when it comes to scouting opposition and having those heat maps and stuff like that, I think that gives me the tools to figure out where we can break down players and kind of the spaces or areas that previous teams might have used before in their approach to playing that opposition team.
As you mentioned, scouting, you're the one that basically scout the other teams and bring back information to the what are some of the keys? I know every team might be different, but what are some of the key, or if there are any similarities that you pick up with team, or anything that might be universal that you see with other teams that has helped the Reggae Boyz team to play better, or to probably enter the game with a different frame of mind per se?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think my approach when it comes to scouting, that kind of every time I see a new team, I give them a fresh slate, kind of act like I know nothing and really take the time to watch the film to fully understand what they might be doing. Because I think in football, things change constantly. And even
Right.
if it's not a big thing, it might be a small thing. So when I approach a team like that, what's nice about the data is it's really easy for me to look for patterns or any kind of consistencies that I might see. So being able to compile all that information, I get a good gist of kind of what we can expect, and then from there, I think that's the most important part when it comes to video, is to have the visual confirmation that those patterns are happening. So once you kind of do it across teams, you do see some patterns. Like, obviously, I think everyone kind of knows this, but everyone plays pretty direct in CONCACAF.
Mm-hmm.
But saying you're playing direct doesn't necessarily mean you're just going up the field. I think you'll see it in certain teams, you'll see certain patterns of what kind of direct balls they like to play. Is it a flat ball just straight in behind? Is it a big diagonal? And so those are some of the nuances that, after going back and watching film and using the data, those are the little intricacies you can see.
All right, I want you to get into some technicalities now, Kyle, for us, because we have some astute football minds on here as well. With the patterns that you see, for example, you said that CONCACAF is direct, right? When you see that pattern, whether they go over the top or diagonally, or however way they do it, what sort of combat would you advise to go up against that sort of play from or patterns that you'd have observed?
Not to give away too much, but really on that sort of side, I really present the information to the coaching staff, and then from there, I let them, they decide how to go about defending it, or kind of what strategies we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I can speak, at least from my current club side, St. Louis City, because I'm the academy video analyst for them.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely give my opinion a lot more there, but it's like, okay, if you don't want that ball in behind to happen, how do you cut it off from the start? So, like, a solution that we do in St. Louis is we want to press from the front. So as long as we don't give them enough time and space on the ball to play that long ball in behind, more than likely that ball won't happen. But even if there is pressure on that ball, you have to have a very disciplined but also brave back line to hold their ground, because in the split second that they might have to play that ball in behind, that forward is probably already too far deep behind your back line. So as long as they hold and stay, they're more than likely, if it's a good ref, that the player's getting called offside.
Okay. So that is one way of of dealing that long ball pattern. All right. The Reggae Boys, I believe, and many probably, is that we are not one of those possession type of playing team. I think we're gradually getting there. Um, and you don't want to give away a lot of information, like you said, but I'm still urged to ask the question: how do we counter teams that play a possession separate and apart from the press? Because our concern, Kyle, is that we don't keep the ball. Our defenders, when we get the ball, we play the long ball to no avail sometimes, and then it knocks back in our central third, or the defense, or the opposing team attacking third. So it causes pressure at all times to be on the defenders. And it will just becoming a pattern for us. Not the ball long, not the ball long, because we're not able to keep possession of the football. How do we? Is it that the team that we're playing against is too high pressed against us? Is it that we're not comfortable on the ball? I think I'm asking you a lot of questions in one, but it's just what I've seen. Some of the stuff that the Reggae Boys do. Help me out there. I think you might understand what I'm saying, even though I've asked a lot of questions in one.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think there's millions of ways to approach it. I think each coach would probably bring their own philosophy to it. But I mean, it's first of all, I think it's empowering your center backs to kind of be more brave with the ball. Can we play with it on the ground? Can we find our sixes in space and things like that? So I think one, showing the defenders the spaces as well, because sometimes if they don't initially see the space, they might get panicked and play it in behind. But that's what's great about having video, is that we can tell them in advance where the spaces will be on, and then from there, kind of encourage them to attack those spaces.
Okay, all right. Interesting. Um, with the new coach that you're working with now, do you see a lot of, or is it just raw data that you give him, or you give him the data with a little bit of additives?
No, I mean I think that's the whole point of data, is to give not only information but perspective and context.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, statistics are data. Like having 50% possession or 60% possession is data,
Yes.
but a nuance in that data is there's this statistic called field tilt, which essentially is how much possession you have in your opponent's final third, where I would say that possession matters more than if you're
Than in your right.
exactly. So it's really presenting them data, but then giving them detailed information of what that data represents.
And even though you give information on how the data is represented, do you highlight ways of, again, combating, or you don't get into that part because you have a coach? Because I believe that the person who is giving the data is fine. You might say this lateral passes are being made. You might make 500 passes, but not many in the final third. Do you just give the coach the data and not? I don't know if I'm pressing too much for you to give too much information, but being that you're the video analyst, coach, 500 pass. You might write it in a report, or you don't, or I don't know if you have conversation one on one. You might write it in a report, write the data on a report, and say 500 passes, but only 50 is made in the opponent's third, defensive third, which is not an advantage for the attacking team, which is us. Do you give ideas of how to come to press more ball or pass more balls in the attacking third to be more effective, or you just present the data and say not enough is being passed in this area? How do you approach that from a analyst standpoint, and not to say that you're going to overstep your bounds of trying to go into the coaching aspect?
No, I mean, I think if I just gave coach the data, I'd only be really doing half my job. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where the video part of it becomes so important. So you could have visual examples of the approach that you might be thinking of that maybe another opponent has done, so you could see if it was successful or not. So giving that data alone, I mean, I think that that really doesn't do much. But it's okay. How are we presenting the data to provide empirical evidence that this might be successful? So let's just come up with a random example.
Mm-hmm.
We want to play against Canada, and
Right.
we say, oh, yeah, a big diagonal is always on. You can look at previous examples of USA and Mexico doing this against them. Here's the data to support that option is on and has been successful. Now, how do we want to approach it using our players in our way? I think that's the best way to kind of put it.
So based on some of the scouting reports that you would have done, and you'd have passed on that information to the technical staff, have you seen where that data that you would have given and how the team plays or played would have been outright direct as to how the information was given?
Um, I would say it kind of depends on maybe earlier on, maybe they wouldn't have appreciated that directness, but I think I've grown in my relationship with Jaime and the rest of the coaching staff where if I present that information, I mean, obviously, I have to bring enough evidence to back up my facts, but they're always really, really open to hearing into it, and it's always a conversation. It's never just no or yes. We always go into it and we get into the deeper parts of it, and I think that's one thing Jaime is super great at is he's very calm and composed. So I think
Mhm.
if you give him any information with enough time to process, and I think that's something he's excellent at.
All right, so you have given him information on a team. So, for example, coming up 80, and all right, let me not use a team that is coming up. For example, we played the United States,
Hmm.
and your report is that US attacked down the left hand side, which is our right side, and they swing in the cross. Majority of their goal is scored from that area. And your recommendation is that we do this as opposed to doing that.
Hmm.
Is it a case where you'd have given that a scouting report and you see where the team Jamaica playing, and it is in sync with the information that you gave?
No, yeah, I mean, anytime I kind of analyze an opponent, I'm always having kind of the back in the back of my head how we would go about approaching that, and I always consider that when analyzing a team because at the end of the day, like I'm not watching an opponent to know the opponent, I'm watching the opponent to know how we can hurt them and
Mm-hmm.
what we can do against them, not necessarily what they can do against us.
Oh, so we have always gotten it wrong then, because oftentimes we look at the team and say how we're going to defend against this team, how we're going to stop this player. But when a report is given from a video analyst like yourself, it is never like that. It is how we are going to hurt the team.
Just in my personal view, I think that kind of mindset of how they can hurt us is just very negative. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that shines a really bad light on kind of the way to approach the game. I
Mm-hmm.
always try to frame it as more positive in ways we can hurt them or ways we can prevent something instead of, oh, how can they come or what we can expect to come at us.
Okay, because we have always been looking at it from that sort of perspective, and it is never a way how we are going to hurt the team. So hearing that from you now possibly might change the notion of some of the football fans, and if there's a takeaway, then that could be one of the takeaways from this interview. All right, Gold Cup. What was that experience like?
It was amazing. I mean, I definitely leading up to that camp. I definitely have not been in as long of a camp.
Hmm.
Obviously, we have the Nation Leagues windows where I'm there for about 2 weeks helping out. So, I mean, I think it was really good just as a staff to really get used to each other and have those bonding moments,
Hmm.
whether it was frustration or happiness. Like as a unit, I think we did a great job of like prevailing over kind of any sort of hiccups we hit in the road.
Okay, in terms of your line of job, video analyst, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you believe that doing a coaching certificate or a license will aid you better in terms of deciphering, analyzing, and if you don't have already, it will help you to do all of these stuff.
No, I think it's super important. I mean, the best way to be an analyst is to understand your coach and kind of the way they see things. So I'm actually in the process of doing my licenses and all that, and I think any analyst should at least aim to go for maybe a C license at the least. But I mean, I think they should definitely pursue to go higher. That's what I plan on doing because I think that coaching aspect,
Is
while I
important.
am an analyst and I understand the system, there
Mm-hmm.
are going to be a lot of moments, well, whether it's in training or maybe in a game, that I need to provide coaching information.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of going through those licenses and processes helps you better understand one, how to identify the issue and how to formulate a solution. And then from there, I could relay that information to the coaches on the bench.
Okay, and is it a European or a American coaching license you're going to be starting?
The US one.
Okay, okay, no problem. There's a question in the comment section from a coach, Devon Porter. He's in Canada. He said, during your video session, do you watch the whole game or you watch the game beforehand and take out highlights and put it in a short format and present it to the coaching staff?
Yeah, so usually during a game, I'm not on the bench, so I'll be up in the booth, the video booth, and
Mhm.
from there I have a bunch of different kind of softwares that I do during the live game. So I'll be looking for specific moments that might happen in games that I know either we might want to look at halftime or at the end of the game during a video session. So usually I'll bookmark all those moments, and after a game, I'll download them and share them to the coaching staff. After working with Jaime for a couple of games, like I kind of understand what he's looking for in a quick post match video, so I send that to him. But also, I think the coaches also do a really good job of self reflecting. Most of the time, they're also watching the game after just to review it themselves.
Okay. And you mentioned something like halftime. You help. Do you show them video at halftime to show what they're doing or what they're not doing?
I think it's not necessarily to show what they're doing or what doing, but maybe scenarios
Mm-hmm.
that we can take advantage of or might need to fix. And really, it's a conversation with whoever I'm mic'd up with on the bench. That throughout the first half, the coaches see this moment, they say, since we're at field level, I couldn't see what happened. Can you give me a live view? And I'll go
Oh,
record that moment. And so once we come down at halftime, we'll review the moments that we talked about, and then from there, I think if we think it's something impactful to show the players, we'll go ahead and show it.
okay. And you mentioned mic being mic'd up, so you're connected to someone on the bench while in the booth. So
Yep,
there's live conversation taking place.
yep.
Okay, that's awesome. That's pretty awesome. And you said the Gold Cup experience was great. Uh, in terms of the player, Jonathan Russell, he did not play a lot of games in the Gold Cup, but is there any heat map that you'd have looked on him? You'd have highlighted to showcase what he is doing, or you do those individual players based off what the coach requests.
It's more off the coach request. And I mean, I think Jonathan was really good in camp. He's someone that brought it every day, and maybe might be disappointed with the minutes, but I think he was a big part of what we did, whether it was in training or like on the bench being supportive. He's just a really good character to have all around.
Okay, all right. A question from the comment section. Triple E. He's saying, do you feel AI is beneficial for game analysis, and is it the case where you use any AI software, and could you elaborate a little bit on how it works?
Yeah, no. So this is actually a conversation I've been having in my academy club because these are some of the technologies we're looking into. But I do think in the future, AI will be massively a part of what the soccer analysis is. I think now, really kind of in its infancy, I think what it does a really good job of. I'm not sure if you're familiar with like Speedio or VO cameras, but
Yes.
they're the AI ball tracking. I
Mm-hmm.
think they do a very good job at the moment of one, tracking the ball and looking for moments, but also some basic statistics. Obviously, it's not something I could trust immediately. It's usually something that I go back and after looking at so many games, you get a good gauge if the AI is correct or not. But I mean, I think moving forward with just the advancement of technology and being able to program an AI to look for specific moments, I think that just makes everything so much more efficient.
Okay, great. Um, More questions coming in. Big up yourself, people. Thanks for asking the questions. You can drop more questions for Kyle in the comment section. Devon Porter is saying you're well knowledgeable about what you're doing, and he commends you on the job and keep it up. But I'd encourage you really and truly to get that license as quickly as possible. I do believe if you get that, it will enhance the knowledge that you have now. All
Oh
right.
no, of course. I mean, I think having those, it just is another proof of the level of education you have. It's something
Yes.
I definitely want to strive and just again, I'm a student of the game, so there's a lot more room for growth for me, and I know that definitely on my end.
All right. There's a question. Rob Smith is saying, do you give Blake any tendency of the strikers? Don't know if I understand that question.
I mean, maybe we do. I do provide like a little information packet. We do definitely some individual opponent analysis. So I really work closely with the goalie coach Gumi, and we prepare a little packet for Andre of kind of things he might be able to expect.
Okay. All right. J Ross, are you happy with the midfield in this squad?
I mean, I think we have really talented players in the midfield. I mean, I'd like to congratulate Lambert on finally getting his MLS move. I think that move was a long time coming. So I think as we continue to get players up into bigger and higher places, I can only see us getting better. And Latino Bader, this was my first time really getting to be around him, but he's a great presence. I think there's so much kind of confidence that he brings to the team and just kind of exudes kind of what you want from a player.
All right. Any more questions from the comment section? With this job though, Kyle, is it a scenario where you have to watch? Say, for example, you want to pick up scouting on a particular team. Do you prefer to watch the game live or video tape?
I mean, it's always good, I think, to watch it live, but usually I watch a game at least twice, if not more, or maybe just particular moments. But I think having those, my first impression is not always right, so I always think it's good to go back. But in using the video softwares that I do, a lot of the time it's just videotape that I insert it into there. And then, like I was saying, what I do at halftime and stuff, I'm able to create bookmarks that I'm
Mm-hmm.
able to easily just reach into and pull certain moments or clips that I like from the game.
Okay, so you'd answer the other question that I was asking because I would think that you'd have to watch a game multiple times too, because sometimes you watch it, like I said, the first impression is not really always true. You have to rewatch it to gather more information from that. Um, so you watch it multiple times and you make your analysis, put in your bookmark, and then you pass it on to the coach. Um, do, do does does it take a for example to analyze a team and put that report together? How long does it take? Do you do long analysis? Do you go over and over? Do you think that you reach a point where you're watching this pattern and you're a little bit baffled by how they're make this pattern doesn't seem like that pattern, but it still looks like a pattern that can hurt the team. Is it a long session of analysis that you do individually before you present that data to the coach?
Oh yeah, no, I mean I think most of the times when I'm working on a report, I'm working for at least a week and a half, just
Hmm.
so that I have the time to actually dive into what I'm looking at, making sure that what I'm seeing is what's actually happening and is correct. And then from there, I mean, it does take time to read through everything, bring the data, and find ways for it to connect and make sure that everything's correct. So, I mean, about like up leading into a camp, I'm starting my scouting work at least 3 to 4 weeks in advance.
Okay, and I would believe that you probably have other video analysts that you are acquainted with, and if you might have an issue with, you might share this information with them to get another perspective or point of view, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think in this industry, kind of the acquaintances you make are more than likely people you can trust. So, I mean, obviously, you have to pick your people carefully. But
Yes, yes.
I mean, I definitely speak with other analysts that I know and just kind of bounce ideas off them. Make sure, hey, did you see this when you watched so and so's game? Or yeah, I mean, there aren't many analysts in Concacaf, but the ones that are there are good people and good analysts. So they're always good people to
Okay.
go and talk to.
Okay, great. Triple E again with a question. Do you take any lessons from how NFL video analysts works as well?
Yes and no. I think the processes that people go through. I mean, obviously the NFL compared to football is a very different game, but the workflows that people have, maybe with their coaches and things like that, I definitely think there are tons of ways you can learn from other sports and kind of the way they process their information and go back and watch their games.
Okay, cool. Devon Porter again is asking, which is the best software recommended to use to do game analysis in the modern game?
My personal preference is Sports Code. It's a Huddle product. But to be honest, it definitely runs fairly pricey. But pretty much in game, it allows me to create any coding windows I want. So those bookmarks that I was talking about, it gives me the flexibility to do that. But also on the backside, um, from there, I'm able to go into those specific clips and add animations and things like that to kind of deepen the details of the clip. So I would definitely say that's probably the industry favorite is Sports Code Huddle. But then the what I use to start actually working is software called Naxport. It's available on Windows, but it pretty much gives you all kind of the same accessibility, except Sports Code is a little nicer when you make animations and things like that.
Okay. Do you do analysis or on prospective players to help the coach select them to fulfill a specific need or just in-game analysis?
I think me personally, I really just try to focus on the in-game analysis. I leave the personnel decisions to to the coaching staff, but I am involved in terms of like when the younger camps happen. I create individual highlights for maybe players that might stick out in a U17s or U20s camp just to help share with coaches.
Okay, I don't think the first part of the question was answered in terms of, for example, scouting of players, individual players. Do you say, for example, a name pop up, Kyle Chin, and you go watch that player and you give a perspective or analysis to the coach? You do things like that as well.
Not as much. If it's a player I'm familiar with, I could definitely give, like players in the MLS that I watch consistently, I could definitely
Mhm.
give my opinions. But again, I leave kind of the decision making when it comes to prospective players to the coaching staff.
Okay. All right. Any more questions in the comment section? And Kyle, would you encourage youngsters to get involved in video analysis? Do you encourage youngsters to get involved in this?
Of course, no. I mean, I think this it's truly the future of the game. I think obviously, if you have a passion for coaching, video analysis will always be a part of what you do in coaching because you'll always go back and watch and review the game. So the more
Hmm.
comfortable you get in kind of this side of the game, I think it can only help improve anything you do on forward in the coaching room. So whether you want to be a coach or not, I think video analysis is a great kind of skill to learn.
Okay, good. And what are some of the prerequisites now to that skill, video analysis?
Well, I mean, I think you have to have the patience to watch games, but also you need to have a detailed eye, meaning like again, you have to be able to pick up pattern recognition, um, kind of, but also being willing to learn and fail. Because I'm sure there's tons of scouting reports that I've done for an opponent, and they are completely wrong because maybe I watched the wrong game or maybe I watched the wrong moment. But I think kind of being willing to learn, just continue to learn about the game, and being willing to understand it. I think that those are the best things, and also I think being willing to put your opinions out there. The way I really got into all of this is on Reddit. I used to write things about Arsenal. Kind of, I would do a match review of an Arsenal game that I watched, and I posted on Reddit for people to critique. And once that I saw people were kind of agreeing with my analysis, I became more confident to kind of grow
Hmm.
in this aptitude. And then from there, I was always trying to help a random team improve in this area, or I'd send off my two page not an essay, but my 2 page report on why I think your six should play actually make maybe like an eight, or just things like that. Just being willing to share the things you see with other people, just to see if you're on the right path.
Okay, so what do you analyze of Arsenal season so far? I heard that you're an Arsenal fan, Simon. Tell us.
No, I mean I'm a big Arsenal fan, but I mean I can tell you a consistent pattern: scoring in the first minute does not lead to a lot of success. So I mean, any way we could figure out how to clean that up in the back line, I think that'd do us pretty well, and maybe get close to winning the championship this year.
You went close last year.
Real close enough where I was emotionally distraught when we lost.
How can you help Manchester United?
Sell the team. That's what I get to do. Scrap everything, throw away the team, find a new team to support.
I I know you'd want that, We have big rivals, man. All right. Triple E said the reason he asked the question about the NFL is that he's not sure if you assist the coaching staff during real-time game situations to identify a pattern or weakness from the opponent.
No, yeah, that's what I mainly try to do. In clipping those moments that we might have an issue with. So whether it's me being able to identify it right in the moment, then I'll radio down to John or say, "Hey, this this person's not marking the right player. The reference player is X player or something like that." So I think that real time information is super impactful, and so that's why we always have a kind of a walkie talkie on the bench for me to go back and forth with whoever I need to talk to.
Okay, good. That sounds good. All right. Are there any positive traits that you can pick up that top professional have in common in your analysis or analysis?
Yeah, I mean, I think kind of I could give a good example of our first team analyst. He never watches anything just once, just because you might be following the ball and seeing a moment. It's always good to watch it back and get the bigger picture. So let's say a center back's playing a ball to the left midfielder. I see that the first time, but what I didn't see in my first watch is actually the left back also coming for an overlapping run. That was the real play. So I think those are really the traits I look for when I look at other analysts. Like, are you willing to sit down and do things more than once? I mean, how well can you provide information? I think my favorite thing about the new coaching staff is the format they present information in. I mean, I never really realized how eye catching a particular presentation style might be. But now that I know that, I only present in very interesting ways now. And I think that there's so much to learn from everybody that you don't even have to learn from another analyst to improve your analysis.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Coach Devon is saying his analysis of Arsenal is that they start fast, finish slow, and the race is not for the swift.
I mean, yeah, you could see that. I mean, we started right out the gates beginning
Yeah.
of last season, but then those injuries started piling up, and by the time you came to the end of the season, you only had maybe 6 or 7 of your regular starters in the starting 11. So those are things that hurt, and I think Arsenal have done a decent job to address some of those areas of depth in the team. But I mean, you lost your most exciting player in preseason in the first game of the season, in Jurian Timber. I mean, I was ready to buy my jersey for him.
Oh man. All right. Duklan is saying, or he's asking the question, Jamaica Reggae Boys, we play a lot of balls over the top. Is it a deliberate gameplay or pattern of play that the Reggae Boys play, or are they forced to do that? I just add that part to the question.
No, I mean, I think it's a deliberate. I don't know if it's deliberate, but I think it really goes on a game by game basis. You have to look at the opposition because
Mm-hmm.
if the opposition play a high line, I mean, I think it's a good thing to go play a ball over the top because there's space in behind for you to attack. But maybe it's a team that's sitting deeper down. Maybe that's not the best approach. So I think you really have to take it a game by game basis and understand who you have personnel wise, and kind of understand what the video shows you in terms of the opponent's tactics.
Okay. All right. People, we have a few more minutes to go. Any more questions for Kyle? I think it's pretty interesting, Kyle. Uh, I have gotten some insights on the whole matter of what the analyst does. Even the live talks within the game is something very interesting that I did not know that occurs. And there are moments that you pick out that might be hurting the team, and that's what you share with the staff. And this is where in-game management is done because of the work of the video analyst. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely like this part of the game. I mean, coaching is not only about getting a few players together or 23 players together in a part of a squad. Teach them some football and then go on the field and play and try to get a good outcome. It takes personnels like you, the fitness trainer, the goalkeeper, every single staff member is important. And I now have a different understanding of the role of a video analyst. You know what I mean? And each time you learn more about what happens on the inside, it allows you to think different. And that's what I'm doing right now, thinking different where the Reggae Boyz is concerned. Coach Devon is saying that you play long balls where the moment arises, not all the time. And that's what Kyle indicated. So, yes. Duklan is saying, which Reggae Boyz run the most? Top three.
I actually, to be honest, I don't know off the top of my head. We have a GPS tracking system, so we do have that information. I personally just don't remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, that's not a problem. That is not a problem. Um, this question came up, but it just jumped out of my head. But we have about 5 minutes to go, Kyle. I don't know if there's any final thoughts that you'd want to share. If you want to shout out anyone, big up to the persons over there at Temple University. I have an athlete that used to attend that university. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So big up to the Temple University folks. Any final words that you want to share with us? Things that you believe that the fans should know?
No, I mean, I think this is, for me, this is really all the beginning. I think there's so much more to do, and there's so much growth that I think we can see from the squad, not only on a personnel side, but just a team as a unit, but even the coaching staff. I mean, as I get to know Jaime, John, Gumi, Marin, the whole staff better, I think the sky's the limit, truthfully. I mean, we all have 2026 circled on that calendar. And I think obviously with the belief of all the fans and kind of your faith and support, I think I think we can make it back to the promised land.
All right.
I ask patience with the process. As we can reveal things, obviously things will always come to light. But the work is being put in behind the scenes. So hopefully you'll see that on the field soon enough.
All right, definitely. And with the job that you're doing, the job that the coaching staff is doing, and the players seem comfortable, committed to the cause of making this World Cup. So it is a good look. Really appreciate you being here, Kyle, to share. And we just want you to keep up the good work. And I am happy that you're not afraid to say, Kyle, that you are learning as you go along, because in this game it's a situation where things change from in a short space of time. That's football. You used to play it that way. No, it's all about keeping the ball. Or some team, you might think it's keeping the ball and they hit you on the counter with that ball over the top because you play eye line. So there are little nuances and pockets that you have to ensure that you fill when it comes on to this thing. And I like your approach in terms of what you say, that it's something that you learn as you go along. And we are hoping that your expertise will assist the Reggae Boyz, especially in these two encounters coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You can also tell us what you look forward to seeing these encounters.
No, to be honest, I'm just happy to be back home, back in the National Stadium. Haven't been there in a couple months, so I mean, it's always great to go back. I mean, I still have family down in Kingston, so it's always great to go home and kind of feel at home when I go back. So that's what I'm definitely looking most forward to, but also to seeing the fans. And just, to this day, I still haven't seen a packed National Stadium in person, just because when I started, it was still COVID time and everything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I just want to see the stadium rocking. That's all I could hope for.
All right. One last question. I see a question jump out there. Michael Sadler, he's saying, is your analyst or analysis used to influence the philosophy of the team?
I would say yes and no. I'd actually say it's kind of the opposite, where the philosophy of the team definitely changes the way I would analyze in a team or look at the approach to it. So I would say the philosophy is kind of the more important part when I go into a scouting an opponent.
Well said. I think that is a very good answer. Thank you again, Kyle. We'll definitely be keeping in touch. Thank you for the opportunity for this interview, and thanks for coming on to the coach's desk again. to share what you do with this national team, the Reggae Boyz. Again, big up yourself. Enjoy the rest of your evening and
I
stay
will. I
safe.
will. Thank you for so much for having me. I know I was a bit tardy with when I came on, but hopefully I could come back next time on time. I'll have
That's all right, man. All right.
all right. Bye.
All right, cool. So, people, there you have it. Kyle Chin, Reggae Boyz video analyst. And he just spoke of some of the things that he has been doing to help the Reggae Boyz in their quest for World Cup football in 2026. Copa America football as well, because they have the Copa to play. That's why they're playing this aspect of the Nations League. So a lot of football for the Reggae Boyz. So Kyle has a lot of job to do, a lot of scouting, and we'll be watching to see if things will change. And like he said, we the fans have to be very patient in what they have to do going forward. You know what I mean? They have a vision, and they are working assiduously towards that vision. And I mean, if we could just hold on a little bit to faith, so that, and be supportive of the boys. So, people, I said that I have 2 tickets to give away. 2 tickets to the games that are coming up. If you need a ticket, put a thumbs up in the comment section. I have the questions. If I say one thumbs up go up, I'll put the question in. I read out the question right now. Hey, that is true in a Lulu. Very good point that you make, or question that you're asking in a Lulu. Who came on? No, man, somebody came on and spoke of that some time ago, Lulu. That I think it was Earl Bailey. So while we were walking with one person, him alone, US have 15 man I work with. You get what I say? So very good point. That in a Lulu. Very good point. Very good point. All right, Coach Devon Porter said he would like a ticket. So let me ask a question. But Coach Devon Porter, y'all got the match? Well, you can give the ticket away. All right, question number 1. Who was the first team Jamaica played against in the Nations League? Who was the first team Jamaica played against in the Nations League? You have 10 seconds to answer. If it goes more than 10 seconds, you have gone on Google. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is incorrect, Rob Smith. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so nobody no answer. Why is it a bad question, Rob Smith? Nations League is Nation League. All right, BM. BM. We have a winner. BM, can you tell us the year? Can you tell us the year, BM? Can you tell us the year? The Cayman Islands is correct, but can you tell us the year? Can you tell us the year, BM? All right, BM. Big up yourself, BM. BM, are you in Jamaica? Nation League is Nation League, Rob Smith. BM is correct. Cayman Islands in 2018. So, BM, You need to give us your information in order to get that ticket. And you can just message me on the coach's desk number there, 474-3538. You have to put your... Listen how it goes. Oh, you're not in Japan? Oh, my God. Who you want us to give it, BM? Tell us, do you want to give somebody that ticket? Or should we give somebody that ticket? All right, BM. Yeah, BM, I can't give the ticket away, you know. All right, just still link the coach's desk number and tell me who would you want to give that ticket. Yeah? Give military or formula. All right. All right. So, all right, definitely. All right, big up yourself. So I'm gonna contact military or formula. Me see military name first, but military might, well, we could see it go. I'm gonna contact formula first. If not, we contact military after formula not able to go to the game. So thank you very much, people. Rob Smith, you can stay there, go on, you know. Two coaches desk. Hopefully the second one asks the questions better. Yeah, man. Tomorrow me giving you that question there. You know, I get everything one time. Yeah, but I try out the two camera thing, you know. Yeah. It's not two, it's the same person, it's the angle of camera, Bridget. Yeah, you know, I get it, you know, in the Rob Smith. Anyways, people, big up yourself. Thank you very much for tuning in. We appreciate you being here. And hopefully, tomorrow is Diamond League. So I can go on, no? Yeah, man. No, it's two camera angle. So this is one view, and this is another view. Yeah? You notice one is side on and one is front on. Yeah. Yeah, man. That's how things set. But anyways, people, big up yourself. Stay safe. Until next time. Peace out.
Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.